everyone. Welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. We're wrapping up our discussion of the fingers in reference to length, long or short, smooth fingers, knotty fingers. So today we're going into the fingerprint. We're featuring the index finger, also known as, of course, the Jupiter finger. So as you see on your check sheet, we get here Jupiter finger, and we're covering the loop, sometimes called the common loop or ulnar loop, radial loop, simple arch, tinted arch, whorl, and composite. Okay, now when we're dealing with the index finger, you need to know something about the finger. It means you, how you see yourself. Do you feel you have the self-esteem? Do you feel confident? Okay, so it's like looking in a mirror. So that's what we're doing today. Now here what we see is a long index finger. We compare it to the length of the ring finger. And this is clearly longer. So with a long index finger, self-esteem is above average, depending on the length. You are serious. You're responsible. You're inclined to perfection. That's how it is. Now, I want you to realize that whatever sign is on the finger will be unique to that finger, but the characteristics of the finger will certainly come across. All right. Now, here's an example of a short one. You see the height of this or length of this one compared here? This is definitely short. So there's no question about, is that a short one or a long one? That's short. So a short finger represents low self-esteem, lack of early reinforcement. This is extremely easy to see in the palm as you see that. And if you have it on your other hand, it is exaggerated. Okay? Now we go into, now that we understand the finger a little more, we go into the signs. Now this is the ulnar loop on the finger. Ulnar you can recognize because it's going toward the thumb. You see it points toward the thumb. The radial looks just like it, but it goes in the opposite direction. It goes away from the thumb. This is called radial loop. And this is ulnar loop. This is also called common because this is more common. All right. So let's understand what it looks like. Okay. So for the common loop or ulnar loop, here is a flexible personality and an ability to sustain a well-rounded view of the world. Okay. Now let's take a look at the radial loop. Hypersensitive to others' influences. Others' needs. They are caring, intuitive, and insecure. And because this is a shorter finger we want to point to, that's all affected. It sort of magnifies it a little more hypersensitive to others' influences, more caring, more intuitive, and more feelings of insecurity. Okay? So that takes care of the common loop or ulnar loop and the radial loop. Remember the direction, okay? Now we go on to the next one. We go into the tinted arches and the common arch. Common, it's like a raised hill. Levels get higher and higher. This is almost like a tint, point in the middle. It's like a peak here, point. Okay, now we'll take first off this one, called the plain or also called the simple. Okay, simple. The person is solid. When that's on that index finger, solid. Practical, repressive, and can lack ambition. So it sort of modifies with the long finger, and it's more, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to point here. It's more affecting to the shorter finger because you're already sensitive to others' feelings, but since it's repressive in your character, in this characteristic, you will lack even more ambition. You sort of go into yourself. All right, let's go on to the tinted. Now, first off, the tinted is rare. You seldom, if ever, see it. But if it's there, that means the person is intense, seeks dramatic gestures, seeks excitement, drawn to lead, teach, or motivate, difficult to relax. That's perfect for the longer finger. However, if it's the short one, it takes away from that. It's not so much intensity. You're not seeking dramatic gestures. You're not seeking much excitement. You're not drawn to lead, all of these things. So this does affect the characteristics that are already there. So let's leave the tinted arch and leave the common arch. Now we go on to the world. We've done the world recently. All right, it's just a circle like a bullseye, okay? Okay, individual. This person is has individual written all around them. Freedom loving, innovative, sexually reticent, inclined to move away from what the norm is, likes to step out of the box. And if the finger's long, anxiously likes to step out. And if it's less, not too interested, may think about it, but maybe don't have the courage or the confidence to go ahead with it. All right, so that's the world. And we have one more, and that's the composite. Composite, you have a sign, two signs going in opposite direction. Here the curl is, and it's wrapping around here. And if you look inside, you see it's wrapping around here. It's like a psychiatrist listening to comments from the client and having to give back help or support or guidance. And all of these things in the head. It's like directions, opposite directions going at the same time, okay? So if it's on the index finger, perpetually uncertain about who they are, needs variety and capacity to see both sides of any situation. Okay, so if that's a long finger, there's little uncertainty, but by that finger being long, that's just, you have a base of confidence in yourself. So this will not profoundly affect the person, okay? But if it's short, it will add to not knowing or accepting who you are, needing variety. You won't need much variety there. So that's how it is. And that's how we're going to cover it when we talk next about the other fingers. We may not do it next week, but we will get to it. All right, I hope you found that interesting, because everything will affect us. So give it your best shot. Think highly of yourself, and you'd be surprised how your self-esteem, your self-confidence will rise. All right, if you liked it, of course, give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love and light. Bye.